In this series, we will analyse teams, identify problem areas, and suggest solutions in the form of incoming players. We won't follow gossip, rumours or conjecture, we don't have inside information, and we're not considering the brand value of players, purely their on-field performance and their suitability for the team in question. Today's team is Liverpool. Welcome to Sensible Transfers. Liverpool's recruitment policy is one of the most effective in Europe. Despite having access to the vast revenues that come along with being a top Premier League club, they've retained a hunger for finding value in the transfer market. This helped them to push Manchester City close domestically last season, while also triumphing on the continent, winning the Champions League. Also, they do not need a major revamp this summer, though there are a couple of areas that they would be wise to strengthen. Liverpool are an extremely potent attacking force. Not only are they productive with organised possession, but they are highly effective in transitions. When they lose the ball, they press to win it back instantly, and when they regain the ball, they counter-attack ruthlessly. These qualities enabled them to obtain the second highest Premier League totals in both actual and expected goals last season. While Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane get most of the attention for their finishing prowess, Roberto Firmino is the central hub around which the team's front three is built. The Brazilian, signed in 2015 as a promising attacking midfielder, has essentially forged his own unique role within Jurgen Klopp's 4-3-3 system. His position is anything but fixed. Indeed, he moves into areas that most out-and-out number 9s don't. He regularly drops as deep as the middle third to link attacking moves, and is adept at finding pockets of space between the lines or in the channels to create passing lanes for Liverpool to progress the ball through. His involvement in building attacks is underlined by the fact that, of all of the Premier League central attacking players, only Eden Hazard of Chelsea averaged more passes in 2018-19. While he drops deep, Salah and Mane look to run in behind opposition defences. These opposite movements cause problems as centre-backs cannot follow Firmino without gaps opening up for Liverpool's wide forwards to run into. And when he gets on the ball, Firmino has the ingenuity and precision to put his teammates through on goal. The 27-year-old can finish chances himself, and he also plays a vital part in Klopp's pressing strategy, pressuring opposition centre-backs whilst angling his runs intelligently and using cover shadows to block forward passes into central areas. While Firmino's tactical importance to Liverpool's all-round play is obvious, the club does not have a natural alternative in his absence. Daniel Sturridge, who occasionally filled in last season, has been released, while Divock Origi is a completely different type of forward. Finding potential alternates for this role is not simple, as few clubs in Europe's top 5 leagues consistently make use of a false 9 type up front. However, through use of data, we can look for players who could potentially do the job. The areas we focused on were chance creation, pass completion, finishing ability, and pressing involvement. And one player that captured our attention was Hertha Berlin's Andre Duda. An attacking midfielder who connects attacks well, he showed last season that he can finish too, scoring 11 goals in 32 Bundesliga appearances. His defensive numbers are excellent and only stand out further considering that he doesn't play for an aggressive pressing side. However, his 60.7% accuracy when passing the ball into the final third is a concern. Another option would be Joaquin Correa. The Argentine grew into his debut season with Lazio, showing an ability to combine effectively with teammates in advanced areas, completing an impressive 89% of his passes to the final third. He also averaged 3 shots per game and demonstrated an eye for a subtle through pass, completing 0.6 of them per 90 minutes. However, his defensive numbers suggest that he wouldn't naturally be suited to fulfilling the pressing aspects of the Firmino role. Kai Havertz is perhaps the best fit in a purely positional sense. He was deployed as a false 9 by Leverkusen on multiple occasions last term. The German is also the most prolific finisher we could find. He averages 2.5 shots at an exceptional rate of accuracy, hitting the target 50.6% at the time. This explains why he scores 0.5 goals per 90 minutes despite rarely being utilised as an out-and-out striker. Havertz also averages more passes and more passes to the final third than Firmino, not to mention slightly more dribbles and similar defensive stats. However, our pick for the role is Nabil Fekir. The Frenchman was heavily linked with a move to Liverpool last season, and while the transfer didn't transpire, it's easy to see why the club were interested in him. An attacking midfielder who can also operate in more advanced positions, he averages more passes to the final third than any player analysed here, while his accuracy of 82.8% is solid. He also averages 3.8 shots per 90 minutes and hits the target 47.8% of the time. In both cases, his numbers are higher than Firmino's. Fekir is a playmaker who thrives in central areas, can finish as well as create chances, and with 6.9 defensive duels, 2 interceptions and 1.8 opposition half-ball recoveries, he isn't afraid to get involved in pressing. Considering all of this, as well as the recent reports suggesting that Lyon are willing to let him leave for a reduced transfer fee of around £30 million, Liverpool not only have a reason to resurrect their interest in him, but he'd be ideal as a Firmino alternate. While Klopp's favoured system does not make use of a natural number 9, Liverpool may want to consider signing one this summer. Whenever their primary approach doesn't work, they tend to look towards Origi as an attacking troublemaker late in games, utilising his aerial ability, nose for goal, and capacity for making something from nothing in the final third. The Belgian is a good squad option, but there are better players out there that could perform the same function. One possible option is Dodi Lukebakio. The 21-year-old has had his best scoring season yet in 2018-19, averaging 0.4 goals per 90 minutes on loan at Fortuna Düsseldorf. While a former winger, he clearly knows how to find the net, averaging 2.5 shots at an excellent accuracy rate of 55.2%. Aerially, he has similar numbers to Origi, though he is better on the ground, succeeding with 10% more of his attempted dribbles. Another more established option would be Sebastian Haller. The 25-year-old enjoyed another positive season at Frankfurt, averaging 0.6 goals per 90 minutes. Not only does he hit the target with 56.3% of his shots, but he is powerful in the air, winning 6.9 aerial duels per 90 at a success rate of 48.9%. This would be a good outlet for Liverpool late on in games, as they can play long or fire crosses towards him should opposition defences resist their intense pressing and counter-attacking game. However, Haller would likely be an expensive target, and it wouldn't make sense to spend big on a player that doesn't fit Klopp's first choice system. Our pick for this position, therefore, is Wout Weghorst. Like Haller, Weghorst is aerially dominant, winning 44.2% of his aerial duels. However, he doesn't quite have the same reputation, so may not cost quite as much as his French counterpart. He averages 1.9 shots and 0.5 goals per 90 minutes, though his most eye-catching finishing stats regards his accuracy. He finds the target with 58.7% of his shots. On top of that, he's fairly quick for a player standing at 6'6", and is capable of pressing the opposition, as his 3.8 defensive duels, 2.2 interceptions, and 1.8 opposition half-ball recoveries on average can confirm. Liverpool have a strong squad, but with a genuine alternate to Firmino and a different type of striker to use in games when they require a tactical change to break down defences, they could be even more potent going forwards next season. And here is what our team could look like. Since Klopp arrived at Anfield, 75% of Liverpool signings have been between the age of 23 and 26, while few involve an excessive financial outlay by modern Premier League standards. Fekir and Weghorst, who suit the club's model on and off the pitch, would be sensible transfers.